Welcome to Leeton Chambers Business Q&A. For our New South Wales Small Business Month event, we wanted to showcase the amount of business support and resources that are available to Leeton businesses. Today's business Q&A focuses on finance, employment, digital marketing, and business loans, all important aspects of running a business. Our panelists have over 10 to 20 years experience in their field and are highly motivated to use their knowledge to help small business succeed. Let's do a quick introduction before we jump into our questions. Sarah Mendagulo is our finance specialist. Sarah has a Bachelor of Business majoring in Accounting and Legal Studies from Charles Sturt University in Wagga. Sarah is a chartered accountant with many years tax, accounting and business experience, working across a diverse range of industries, particularly agriculture, retail and construction. Sarah enjoys working closely with clients to achieve their business goals, resolving complex tax matters and tax planning. Sarah is based in the Griffiths office and has many Leeton clients. Jodie Ryan is our employment specialist. Jodie has hands-on startup and business operating experience. Jodie has delivered face-to-face training for traineeships for private registered training organisations and has been a consultant for a mentor for Australian Apprenticeship Network provider. Jodie's diverse experience provides a wealth of knowledge on a business's greatest asset, staff. Jodie is based in the Leeton BEC hub and is available to assist local businesses. Sue Voss is our digital marketing specialist. Unfortunately, Sue was unable to join us this morning, but we may catch up with her another day and go through some of the digital marketing questions for Suze, but her background is cultural tourism experience, and Suze is passionate about audience engagement and business development. Her extensive knowledge is seen through the success of the Queensland Abbey Museum and the Abbey Medieval Festival, which now is in its 30th year and is visited by thousands of tourists every year. Suze is also responsible for the incredible transformation of the Australian Art Deco Festival Leeton and the Leeton Museum Gallery. Suze works for Leeton Shire Council, and for the month of October, we'll be hosting 6 digital marketing workshops at the Yanko Institute. See all the details for these events at the Leeton Shire Council Facebook events page. Sean Lofty-Eaton is our business loan specialist. Sean has experience in all aspects of banking during his 27-year career with retail, business and transactional banking. He's also experienced life on the outside in manufacturing, retail and property association services. He has an appreciation for small to medium business and enjoys working with business owners from diverse industries, including manufacturing and professional services. Welcome, panelists. Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to thank everyone that has sent their business questions in for our panelists. So now we will kick things off with our first questions from our trusty little question box I have hidden away over here. So the first one, I'll just join you now. Okay, I've picked up the first one is for Jodie.
Okay.
In relation to employment, what benefit is there for me as an employer to invest more money in training?
Oh, I'd have to say with job satisfaction to begin with. Obviously, staff engagement and team morale is always built, around training. If you train them, they may stay. And a lot of people often get concerned that they will leave if we train them. But if we don't train them and they do stay, what kind of quality have we got? At the moment, in regards to training, though, especially with the announcements last night with the budget, there's been so much money thrown into apprenticeships and traineeships. And the first thing, and I have a team of staff, and the first thing when offering a traineeship, they sort of balk at the idea of, traineeship wages. You can still pay ordinary wages, you can still pay well above the traineeship wage, but at the same time, at the moment in New South Wales, it's fee-free. So there's absolutely no reason why it's not going to cost you anything. And at the moment, I think a full-time employee under a traineeship, and I mean the vet sector is phenomenal, as everyone knows, and there's so much training out there. It's around the $4,000 per annum per person. So if you look at it, you're actually going to make money off it as opposed to costing. So yeah, it's a great question, but at the same time, at the moment, there is actually no cost involved, and at the same time, the staff morale is is what it's all about, and keeping the team keen is always good too.
So it's basically a win-win, really, when you get that financial incentive from the government, and then the staff morale. Yeah, absolutely. And then you also get that productivity because they're learning and.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, especially if you do engage in that traineeship or the apprenticeship field. And traineeships, I mean, I think people still think retail business, but there is so much more. There's digital marketing, there is, I'm just trying to think, there's so much out there, right through to the cleaners. Like, they can absolutely be put through a traineeship as well. So anybody in any field can go and undertake some training, and you know, no one's ever too old to learn. And at the same time, it is a win-win, especially in New South Wales at the moment.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. Thanks, Jodie. Okay, we'll move on to another question. This one is for you, Sean. What is unsecured lending for businesses?
All right, so unsecured lending is when a owner goes into a bank to arrange either a line of credit or an overdraft based on the strength of the financials of that business. In other words, he doesn't offer a mortgage on his property or shares. It is an unsecured facility based on the financial strength of that business.
Okay, so if the business is going well and they can prove that, then they can get an unsecured loan for an overdraft or something along those lines.
Generally speaking, yes. It also just depends how long they've been in the industry, how long the business has been trading for. So from a banking point of view, we would like to see a track record of at least 2 years, because by then the business should be more established, and it gives the bank a far better idea of the strength of not just the financials, but also of the business owner.
Fantastic. Okay, that answers that one for me. Okay, Sarah, when buying assets, is it better to finance or purchase outright?
So the first thing to consider when deciding to finance or purchase outright is obviously cash flow. If the business can afford to pay for the asset in full and it doesn't impact the business's ability to pay their bills on time, then it would be better to buy. Why pay interest if you don't have to? But when financing, it is important to remember that although interest is tax deductible, you're only getting a deduction for the interest at your marginal rate of tax. So that is, for every dollar spent, you only save an average of about 30 cents of tax. And also keep in mind that the principal portion of the repayments aren't deductible. The depreciation is. Okay.
So basically, if you're in the financial position to be able to buy it outright, then you're probably in a better position to do it that way rather than paying interest. And
yeah, if you can, given the economic conditions, most people probably are going to finance, because you just don't know what's around the corner with all this COVID and all the lockdowns we've been experiencing. Hopefully we're all past that, but yeah, if your business is in the position where you can buy outright, well, then you might as well. It's going to be the cheaper option.
So financing will allow you to, I guess, not pay so much upfront, ideally.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. Jodie, should I employ direct or contract the work out?
Another question I get often asked. So I guess it depends on the workload. If the workload's short and sharp, and that the work is sort of in peaks, then absolutely probably a contract would be an easier solution. I guess it's still, you're paying a little bit more again, but again, it's going to be case by case. So if it's long-term employment, it makes more sense to employ direct. And especially these days when there's so much software out there that makes employing people a lot easier when it comes down to, the Xero and the Mild Live and all these other wonderful things. But then you've got to look at the fact that you've obviously got workers' compensation and all those other insurances that go with it. So it will depend on case by case.
Yep, absolutely. And the workload that you have, like you mentioned. So.
At the time, yeah.
So I think the main thing for business owners to remember is that there are other options of employment. It's not full-time or nothing, really.
Absolutely. I mean, and then you've got to think of the other opportunities being, the labour hire and the group training companies. We've got Get Set here in Leeton. They offer a fairly reasonable competitive rate as well. So you don't have to employ direct, you just pay them an account. So there's lots of different opportunities when it comes to employing people. Yeah. It's not as cut straight like it used to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. That's a good point. Okay, Sean. What is the importance of industry-specific loans or offerings? How do loans differ for each industry? For example, like a local cafe or a non-for-profit organisation?
The lending principles will always remain the same. So if you look at those two specific instances, for a cafe as a rule, they may require finance on their fridges or their ovens and stoves, if that is required. More often than not, for a cafe, they'll just require a straightforward bank account with a small overdraft maybe, because that is a cash business. Okay. When you're talking non-for-profits, it's there's obviously no business owners as such. So it really depends on the strength of that organization, how long they've been around, their income, their private funding versus government funding, what that looks like. There's no one size fits all. And what we at Beyond Bank do very well is that we look at each individual or each business in their own right and their own strengths. So it's not everybody's treated the same. It's really trying to ascertain what that business needs and what the requirements are, both short-term and long-term.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all. So
not at all.
Very tailored.
Every business has its own unique set of circumstances.
Yeah.
What we'd like to do here is to really understand both short-term and long-term, what their needs are, who the people involved. So it's a really deep diving and getting a real understanding, and then applying a solution that works for them.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, Sarah, can the immediate asset write-off tax deduction be used if the asset is financed?
Well, this is a question we get quite a lot. So it all depends on what type of finance is used. So it can be the immediate write-off deduction can be accessed.
Just before you dive into that, Sarah, can you explain that question to me? Because I'm probably, and maybe for other people as well, just explain that, what it actually means, and then sort of answer the question.
Yep, no worries. So with and when an asset is purchased, rather than being depreciated over its useful life, you get an immediate deduction. So that means if you purchase something that's worth, say, $20,000 for in this current financial year, then you get that as a full deduction against your income.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. So ultimately it reduces your profit, which then ultimately reduces how much tax you pay.
Okay. Yep.
So it depends. If it's financed, it depends on what type of finance. So there's hire purchase, equipment loan, or chattel mortgage. All of these, the ownership of the asset is passed to the buyer at the time of settlement. So for as long as you own the asset, you can claim this tax deduction. However, where people get a little bit caught up, they're not that common these days, but still got to keep in mind a finance lease. It means that the finance lease, the asset is still technically owned by the bank or the financier, and you rent it. So in that case, you can't get the immediate write-off, and you just get the deduction for each repayment as it's made.
Okay. And so that's a common thing that you get asked by your clients?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yep. So it's just, we just got to keep in mind that you've got to read the fine print and just make sure that it's either a chattel mortgage, equipment loan, or a hire purchase.
So is that something they need to consider when they are going to purchase something, and what kind of finance they're going to get?
Yes. Yeah. Because if they want that deduction, it's going to be a real shame if you know, you don't look at the fine print and you turn out that you get a finance lease when you're wanting the full deduction, and you should have got like a shuttle mortgage or equipment loan.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's something, I guess, like yourself, your accountant can help you determine. You make sure you think in the future what you want this purchase to do for you later on as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Very good. Okay, Jodie, last question for this morning, guys. So nearly there. What are the first steps to employ someone?
Very first step would obviously be to come up with a job description. Take more of an holistic approach to the business. Find out exactly what your requirement is, rather than just employing someone for the sake of it. I suppose identify what you need and what the need is of the role. From there, I suppose, get to know the law. Fairwork.gov will be your friend. And, around pays and things like that, we need to get those. So critical that we get it right. And then I suppose induction would be the next step. So induction of any staff member, no matter how long they're actually employed for, or what the process is. Just having some kind of process in place around induction is really critical. But speak to your accountant. Hey, Sarah, no. But absolutely get everybody on your side, because employing staff can be amazing, but it can have its challenges, especially when you're dealing with different personalities and things like that. So absolutely, but fairwork.gov has got so much information on there, you cannot go wrong.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think you made a really good point there with making a job description. So you may be crazy busy running off your feet, but what is this person going to be doing for you? So yeah, making that clear, and then deciding, okay, is it going to be a contractor, or do we have enough work for full time? Do we have the money for full time? So yeah, that's really interesting. Very good.
Yeah. And that's where your accountant is so critical, because you can look at your cash flow together, and just ensure that that there's going to be enough work there for that person.
Yes, definitely. Speak to your accountant. We're here to help.
Yes, that's. I think when you're in business, your accountant is also your best friend. So,
yes,
should be in regular contact. So, yeah, that's very important, and they will definitely guide you in the correct way, because we all know. I think business owners know how to run their business, and they know what they want to achieve, but all the other little tentacles around it. I think it's really important to get that help and get that professional help from everyone around you. So
yeah, definitely. One of our favourite sayings at work is that the people know the business best. So you focus on running your business, and we'll help you as best we can with everything that's required.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I've always thought from a marketing perspective as well. It's about how to do your business. We will just help you get it out there, basically. So yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
Sorry.
No, you're right. What'd you say?
Where I should say that. So the business, so we're funded by New South Wales government, but we can now offer up to 60 hours of free business advice because of COVID. So take advantage of us. Yeah. I say that we've got, a team of, I think there's 19 advisors across the Riverina Murray now. Yeah. It's free. Use us, and then we can direct you guys wherever we need to. Yeah,
absolutely. The BEC is such an important resource, and you're located in Leeton. Like, I think that is just so awesome. So give you guys a call. You and Crystal are located here, and you have so many experienced people behind you as well, though, that you can reach out to. So I think that's really important. Yeah, definitely.
If we don't have the answer, then we know somebody that does.
Yeah, but with both of your experiences, I'm pretty sure you'll be very, very close.
Some days,
I think so. Is there anything you'd like to add, Sean, before we?
Yes, I would. Just from a banking point of view, through the years, some of our really good relationships with clients have been those who've had good relationships with their accountants. Mm-hmm. I think small business owners underestimate the value that a good accountant can add to their business. And then often when they come to a bank for whatever that reason may be, if they've got a good relationship with their accountant, it's that much easier to get the financial information that a bank would require to assess their needs. A good accountant is like a good doctor; they are gold.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sean.
There we go, Sarah. We did your ending for you.
Yeah, thanks. I couldn't have said it better myself.
We often come across, you know, third or fourth generations that have always used the one organisation or the, you know, the old 90-year-old accountant. Shop around. We say, you know, find what suits your business, and yeah, they just seem to think that they're stuck. And it's the same as a doctor. If the doctor's no good, move on. So the same with the accountant. Yeah, absolutely. It is critical to have a good accountant, and that buy them good wine at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I think it's important that every anyone that you use to help you with your business is I guess tailored to what you need, and like you said, Sean, your loans are tailored to every business has got different reasons and different uses, and same with your accountant and things like that too. So yeah, awesome. That's really, really important. Well, that's some amazing insights on some important business topics we've had today. So if you're a business owner, please remember that there are local resources and support here ready to help you with your business needs. If you have any more questions for our panelists, please contact us at Leeton Business Chamber, or email us or via Facebook Messenger, and we'll endeavour to bring you the right answers or get in touch with these fantastic professionals. Our next business Q&A is Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. and we'll be focusing on product and service, business planning, grants, and grant writing as well as another important aspect. So thank you all once again for joining us today, and thank you panelists for your time out of your day and all the other things we've done to organise this morning. So thank you all, and hopefully we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne.
Thanks, Marianne.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.